When I first started applying to government jobs, it was rejection after rejection. And now that I'm on the other side of that process, I can clearly see some of the major mistakes I was making. Let's get into it. First thing, I was applying to everything under the sun. You heard of the phrase, throw it against the wall and see what sticks? Well, that's not always the best strategy. I was looking at the 0300 job series, administration, analytical skills. I could do that. 0200, human resource skills. I've done plenty of human resource tasks throughout my career. Maybe I could do that. The 1700 series. I used to teach at a university. I could do the 1700 series. That's teaching. That's instruction. Here's the thing. You can be qualified for a dozen job series, but you should not apply for all of them using the same federal resume. Your resume needs to be relevant for that position, okay? And that includes your job series, that includes the qualification section, the duty section. It has to match. So you can't just hope that HR figures it out. You are the jack of all trades. You have all this experience and skills, so you submit it and you're like, HR will figure it out. I'm more than qualified. You cannot take that approach. So you can apply for multiple positions, but you probably should have multiple resumes. And this is something that I do now. I have 4 resumes targeted towards each different job series. And what I do when I look at the job announcement, you might have to make these little small tweaks, right? Because every 0343 position is not going to be the same. But these tweaks are replacing some words, maybe some nouns or some verbs. It is not a complete overhaul of that resume. And that will end up saving you time and you will become more successful using that strategy. The next thing is when I started to search for government jobs, my range of GS grades was way too wide. My main goal was, okay, I'm making this salary now. I'm trying to get into the government. I want to be able to maintain the salary that I'm making now. In order to do that, I was including 3, 4, 5 different types of GS grades. My fan was so large that once I started to apply and I actually received job offers, the first one I received, I was ecstatic and I jumped on it because it was equivalent to what I was making in the military. But fast forward a few weeks later, I was receiving higher level job offers. The problem happened when I started working on my second or third day. I was not able to accept the higher job offer. And the reason for that, it comes down to the hiring paths. In a job announcement, you have multiple hiring paths. If that job announcement is not open to the general public, you have to be careful on which hiring path you're using. I was using the veteran preference hiring path. And because I already used that to attain a particular GS grade, human resources was not letting me take the higher level position because I didn't have enough time and grade. Now, like I said, this greatly depends on the hiring path of the job announcement. So in some situations, you might be able to just jump and take a higher grade. In my circumstance, I wasn't able to. And it was a difficult position to be placed in. Essentially, I knew that I missed out on over $10,000 that year because I had too wide of a search. It wasn't narrow and specific. The next thing is during my job searching months, I actually changed my phone number. I changed my provider. And this is because of the spam texts. You probably get them too. You get those calls asking if you want to get a warranty on your car, an extended warranty, some nonsense like that. I was tired of it and I changed it. But what I didn't change was the contact information on my resume. My email was correct, but the phone number was wrong. And I was receiving emails from HR saying, hey, we've been trying to call you. What's going on? What's the deal with your phone number? Do you have a new number? So I had to give them my number. Make sure you revisit the contact information on your federal resume from time to time because it seems obvious that you would update it, but a lot of us, life is going on. Other things are happening and small details like that will be missed. Another thing is when I started to actually get interviews, I would answer questions with a little too much ambition. And what I mean by that is the question, where do you see yourself in 3 years? Or where do you see yourself in 5 years? I told them I saw myself at a higher GS grade. This is the grade I'm at now, and I feel like I'm going to continue to learn, build, self-develop, and in 2 years, I expect to be at this GS grade, which was honest, it was truthful, but it sent the wrong message to the hiring manager because to them, that meant I didn't plan on staying in that job for that long. I was only there a year and a half or 2 years, and then I was going to cut rope on them and head out to the next job. They didn't want someone on their team with that type of mentality. Next thing is a lot of us in the military, we hear that veterans have a preference in federal hiring, which is true. But it's not as simple as taking your DD-214 and uploading it and then the job offers just start coming in. No. You have to compete with them. You will be competing with thousands of other veterans that are just as qualified as you are or more so. So it still takes effort. It still takes getting rejected. I had veteran preference. I was not selected over 200 times. I'm a military veteran. I have an MBA. I went on combat deployments. I have awards. It doesn't matter. It is still a competition. You still have to be relentless, persistent in applying, trying to network, trying to get to know people, learning more about the system in order to get the job that you want. If you're a military veteran, you still have to do what everyone else out here is doing. Have a strong resume. Work on your interview skills, work on networking. All that stuff is going to come into play. Okay, so here's a bonus tip that I wish I knew before I got into the government. You will not get paid for the first 3 weeks. It takes about 20, 23, 24 days to get that first paycheck. Now, you want to make sure that you have your finances in order. You should have 3-6 months of living expenses already in the bank saved up. Do not expect to just show up on your first day and then 14 days later they're going to give you a check, because it's not going to work that way. Now, if you're watching this and you're trying to improve your federal resume in order to get qualified, in order to get referred and interviewed and get that next job, I have some keywords that will assist you in strengthening your resume. If you want to know what those keywords are, I want you to watch this video next. If you would like to see more videos like this, please click like and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.